Hi, everyone. Good Thursday to you. Glad to have you with us. Glad again to just repeat an even sweeter forecast towards the latter part of the show. That will follow a host of other headlines. A couple arrested in Sayersville for shoplifting, said to be literally too high to talk, with stolen merchandise literally falling out of their clothing. A Missouri man arrested coming through Sayersville earlier this week. Heroin, cocaine, and what the pacifier he had in his possession, he says, was for. We'll introduce to you the three Miss McGoffin County candidates tonight. And I planned on an interview today. Our schedule didn't quite line out, but I'll give you a bit of a glimpse into a big night of racing at the Mountain Parkway Dragway this weekend and how there's been a changing of the guard, so to speak, and a host of other news and information before I leave you. A lot happening on our calendar, of course, and otherwise, weather-wise, still sitting very pretty. I mean, absolutely no mention of showers or storms to any degree through this time next week. So definitely a good note to go out on. A couple of things from the state level before we get to that of the local one. The Kentucky Supreme Court ruled today that Governor Bevin and the General Assembly did have the authority to cancel an employment contract that Attorney General Andy Beshear had given to private attorneys to assist his office in filing suit against the pharmaceutical industry over the opioid epidemic. Now, that was year before last when Beshear's office tried to hire outside counsel on a contingency fee basis. That counsel would help his office investigate and pursue litigation and awards against various drug manufacturers and those who distribute those drugs as well. There was actually a contract that was awarded to several different law firms working in concert. However, that was nullified by the governor and the General Assembly. And that, of course, also happened in the midst of major announcements this week, as Oklahoma, of course, a judge in that state found Johnson & Johnson guilty in fueling the state's opioid crisis. That order resulted in Johnson & Johnson being demanded to pay by the court some $572 million. Now, this was, of course, a landmark ruling, the results of which are great and will have a great many effects on other such cases. It's also been reported this week that Johnson & Johnson is looking to settle with all the states in the nation for anywhere between $10 to $20 billion for all of those pending lawsuits. Meanwhile, Attorney General Andy Beshear said his office has completed a review of publicly available data and determined that the governor's labor cabinet may have failed to secure a single bond for any mining company operating here in the Commonwealth. Beshear's review, he says, indicates that as many as 30 mining companies should have bonds on file, without which nearly 1,000 mining employees are at risk. In his 5-page report, Kentucky's AG says that the labor cabinet has not only failed to enforce a state law that aims to protect 4 weeks of employee pay if their company shuts down, they actively tried to repeal it. The law applies to certain businesses, including mining companies, who have done business in the state for fewer than 5 consecutive years. Beshear began his review following media reports that the cabinet failed to require the now bankrupt Black Jewel in Harlan County to post a bond after that mine closed on July the 1st. As most everyone knows by now, miners' paychecks bounced, and they have still not received any payment. Beshear investigated to find out if other miners were at the same risk, and that was his discovery. His letter says that the cabinet had various accessible ways to try to track and enforce the law, including working with other agencies and utilizing the cabinet's claim to broad subpoena powers to investigate labor law violations. And instead of enforcing the law, however, the labor cabinet took time to unsuccessfully try to repeal it. Headlines tonight will begin with a few arrests. One of a Missouri man caught with cocaine and heroin coming through Sayersville very early one morning this week. In addition to a lot of other paraphernalia, he also had a pacifier with him that he said was used in taking those drugs. That oddity is a pacifier. More on that in just a second. Sayersville police officer Mike Nichols pulled over this man from Missouri, Charles Marshall Post Yoko, 22, from Glen Allen, Missouri, for a traffic violation around 3:50 on the Mountain Parkway here in Sayersville. That's about 3:50 a.m. on Wednesday morning. The officer pulled him over for crossing the double yellow line numerous times, and once pulling him over and getting consent to search, he found an overnight bag with numerous pieces of aluminum foil which was wrapped around heroin and cocaine, according to Yoko. There was also a large quantity of needles and other drug paraphernalia found, and then there was that pacifier that Yoko said that is used when they melt drugs such as the heroin or cocaine. Dip the pacifier in it, let it dry, and then just suck on it as you will, slowly ingesting the drugs as they turn back into a liquid-like form. He was charged with reckless driving, driving under the influence, possession of a controlled substance in the first degree, possession of drug paraphernalia, no operator's license, and no insurance on the vehicle he was driving. And these two arrests took place as two people from Sagersville, McGoffin County, are accused of shoplifting and also being so under the influence of drugs that they were having trouble speaking while in a Dollar General store, taken into custody by troopers with the Kentucky State Police or a trooper with the Kentucky State Police. One of the two, a woman, faced additional charges after she got to the jail and claimed that she had no idea how the drugs in a body cavity had gotten there. Kentucky State Police Post 9 in Pikeville says they got a call last night just before 8:30 about two people shoplifting, very, very much so impaired, at the Dollar General store in Bloomington. The responding officer was Trooper Dustin Thompson. He describes that when he got there, he found two individuals, a man and a woman, so high that just speaking was proving to be a task for them. He says he found this woman, 35-year-old Betty May Hale, near the cash register, and that she had numerous items literally falling out of her shorts, items bulging out of her shirt, while she told him that she had purchased those items from another Dollar General store before coming to that one. The trooper then says that he found another person, that being 31-year-old Andrew Neal James of Sagersville, a few aisles away, and like Betty Hale, he too had numerous items bulging out of his pants and several shoved down the front of his pants. And he too claimed that he had purchased the items at another Dollar General store before coming to that one. However, the clerk on the clock that night pulled up the video footage of the two taking items and shoving them down their pants as they made their way throughout the store. Betty Hale admitted to taking some pain pills, including Valium and others, and that she needed to get some more, while James stated he had taken the same plus smoked some marijuana. Both showed all 6 signs of impairment and failed all field sobriety tests. The clerk said the merchandise totaled $206.61. Betty Hale was charged with theft by unlawful taking, shoplifting, under $500, public intoxication of drugs, while James was also charged with theft by unlawful taking, shoplifting, and public intoxication of drugs. But Hale would face additional charges. After, Trooper Thompson says he searched her and asked her if she had anything else illegal or dangerous on her that he did not find. She stated that she did not, and then she was placed in the rear of his police cruiser and handcuffed. But he says when they arrived at the Big Sandy jail and woke her up, she appeared to be even more impaired than she was when she was first placed under arrest. And during a search at the jail, the staff found a clear plastic bag with numerous pills inside a body cavity, inside of a pocket that's designed to hold such contraband. Hale's response was that she didn't know how the items had gotten there, and she didn't think that there was anything else in there. The bag contained a quantity of Xanax and other pills. And as such, she was charged with promoting contraband, second degree, prescription in its improper container, possession of a controlled substance in the second and third degrees. Never seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen anything like it. And if you have seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen it like this. From all the styles of pillows, dishware, bedding, and wall hangings, it's full of beautiful home decor. And there are frames for anyone and any occasion. There are neat and unique ways to design and do it yourself. There are flowers too perfect to be real. And from expecting moms to newborns, toddlers, teens, and adults, the fashions and designs and jewelry are simply endless and always changing at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop. Big Sandy Healthcare and Hope Family Medical Center are proud to announce the newest addition to their staff and team of over 200 dedicated employees and medical professionals. Podiatrist Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney has joined Big Sandy Healthcare at the Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville on Beriah Boulevard, just a couple of doors up from the least famous recipe. For anything minor or serious foot or ankle related, Dr. Stalder Cheney is now accepting new patients at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville. Whether it's game time, family time, or any kind of fun or hungry time, it's always a perfect time for the party platter from your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe. 20 crispy buffalo wings, 20 hot and spicy wings, fried pickles, cheese sticks, jalapeno poppers, mini corn dogs, jumbo breast strips, and spicy jumbo dippers. It feeds a crowd for only $34.99, and you get $3 off if you call and order one at least a day ahead. It's party time at your Sagersville Lee's. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to conleytire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by for huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424.
Car wrecks, truck wreck, disability, workers' comp, slip and fall, wrongful death. Your case matters to you. Your case matters to us. Contact McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Before we go to our calendar announcements and a few other stories, as I did last night in introducing our 14 candidates for Miss Teen McGoffin, which of course we'll take to the stage in what's going to be, I'm sure, a few hours of pageantry tonight. Tomorrow night it'll be these 3 young ladies, one of which from McGoffin County, 2 from the Floyd County area, all vying to become your next Miss McGoffin, which will head to, of course, the next Miss Kentucky. The theme for this year's pageant is Beach Party, and director Jency Bailey tells us that she is thrilled to have the following 3 beautiful ladies competing for Miss McGoffin 2019-2020, beginning with contestant number 1, Brooklyn Newsom. She's a 20-year-old and the daughter of Brad and Lori Newsom of Floyd County. She's also a junior at the University of Pikeville, majoring in business management. Her social impact initiative is Dangers of Distracted Driving. And for her talent, Brooklyn is going to perform a tap dance routine to Get Up Off That Thing by James Brown. Contestant number 2 is Jessica Hall. She's the 23-year-old daughter of Jeffrey and Gwendolyn Hall of Prestonsburg, and she holds a bachelor's degree in neuroscience and a Bachelor of Arts in Spanish with a French minor from Morehead State University. Her social impact initiative is Learning Disorder Awareness. For her talent, Jessica is going to perform a lyrical dance to Lauren Diego's You Say. And contestant number 3 is a hometown girl, Miss Brooklyn Poe, the 18-year-old daughter of Dwight and Melinda Poe of Sagersville, a sophomore at MSU. She is majoring in elementary education, and her social impact initiative is Preventing Child Abuse Across America. For her talent, Brooklyn is going to sing her rendition of Sarah Evans's No Place That Far. And of course, this being a prelim, the winner of Miss McGoffin County will advance to the Miss Kentucky Scholarship Pageant in June of next year in Louisville. Another headline or two in a few moments. Right now, here's your McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. Couple of things now. An additional notice on the parade lineup. All pageant winners will go to the Logan Corporation parking lot. All the floats will go to the McGoffin County Funeral Home parking lot, as long as there are no services being held that day. Grand marshals, school grand marshal floats as well, will go to the Sagersville or Dyers Funeral Home lot to line up for the parade. They'll start lining up, I believe, at noon. The parade, of course, will head towards the downtown area from those locations right around 1 o'clock. Now, as you know, this Community Day is honoring all current. And from the desk of Mayor Pete Shepard, he says that the parade committee is inviting all those retired teachers 80 years of age or over to ride through as grand marshals, and all other retired teachers may walk through or ride in And all other retired teachers are invited to walk or ride through in the parade as well. Those choosing to ride are encouraged to ride in groups in the back of a truck, trailer, wagon, what have you. And all should be at the Sagersville Funeral Home at 12:30 on Saturday. And if you have any questions, call 349-5775. And don't forget about the first annual bike show and silent auction held by the KMA and KBA organizations here in Sagersville at the Little Red Wagon. This is going to be this coming Saturday, 4 to 6. They're going to have Best in Show, Bagger Custom Cruiser, other entries. It's $15 to enter, and that's all you have to pay. It's open to the public as well. And our calendar is always open to the public. All our nonprofits and churches and other groups and organizations who have an announcement. And for anyone who has a birthday or anniversary, tell me and we'll tell everyone about it. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment. And for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. Just like that, we've jumped into the spring allergy season with all the buds and blooms, tree and grass pollen, mold, and all the nasal congestion, sneezing, itchy nose and eyes and throat that they cause. Don't get caught off guard. Protect yourself daily with a quick trip to Parkway Pharmacy for over-the-counter and prescription relief. And you can always log into parkwaypharmacy.com to have your prescriptions ready when you get there at Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville.
Appalachian Wireless has a question for you. Would you rather pay $650 or $66 for a smartphone? If you think this answer is simple, then the Appalachian Advantage plan is for you. Pay less upfront for today's hottest smartphones, and then pay just a few dollars more every month on the monthly bill. Many smartphones are $5 a month or less after you factor in the $20 discount from the Advantage plan compared to the contract offering. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Payment agreement required. See store for details.
Here's a little of what's new at Parkway Gun and Pawn. A big selection of hunting, bowie knives, some to use, some to collect, or both, starting as low as $14.99 a piece. Hey gamers, while they last, they just got in 2 PS4 Pro editions in perfect condition. And as new, still in the packaging, big flat screens at big discounts. A new selection of kitchen gear and appliances, and even a new in-the-box 30-gallon electric hot water heater. You never know what you're going to save on, but you're always going to save at Parkway Gun and Pawn. Your new IGA has fresh brewed coffees and delicious donuts made 7 days a week. Daily made breads piled high with any meat or cheese you can think of. And come and taste the salads, broccoli and cauliflower, cornbread, and their gourmet chicken salad made fresh right here. They've got fruit and vegetable and meat trays made with a little love. And celebrate anything with perfectly professionally made cakes. All fresh and ready for your next meal, party, or event at your Sagersville IGA, where it's a new day, place, and way to shop. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville. 349-8785. A couple of things in sports tonight before we go to the weather forecast, which is largely unchanged, but still an absolute glorious read and view. We'll get to that in just a few seconds. I failed to mention last night after some really great, I just did the edit. It was all of those players and the coaches who put on such a wonderful performance in the Founders or Heritage Day Bowl. But I failed to mention after that coverage last night that the next game for the Hornets is, of course, tomorrow night. They are on the road, however, this week at Sheldon Clark. They will be home next Friday night hosting Breathitt County. And by the way, if you want to come out and see some great football, you need to do it then, because it will be 4 weeks after that till they are home for a 2-game home stretch. And then there's just 2 games left after that, so it's going to be over before you know it. With that said, I'll have hopefully the interview tomorrow. I'd already left a spot in the show for it, but speaking with Mr. Aaron Sipple today was on our schedule, and at the last moment we had to postpone our interview over the telephone. It was to be. Nevertheless, some good news for all those drag racing fans, and of course as well for all those who've had any type of a history, and a lot of us, my generation and way back, have enjoyed either watching or running the quarter mile or sometimes eighth on the Mountain Parkway Dragway, which is back in, we'll say, the family's hands, which it was many, many years ago. And this weekend is going to be a big race where you'll get to see a lot of local racers like these. Labor Day Street Wars are back at what is now the Kentucky Dragway. Formerly known as the Mountain Park Dragway in Clay City. And also back is the direction, this time by Aaron Sipple and his family, the owners and operators. I know that his father, for many years, ran the track many years ago. I don't have a number for any of those years. That's going to be part of our interview. But I know that a lot of local and other races are excited to hear this family's involvement with the track now under their ownership and operation. They've actually been having big races, inviting and drawing big crowds basically every weekend for the past several weekends. And Street Wars is this weekend, actually tomorrow night and Saturday night. The Bradleys are going to be there. I think we'll see their car in just a second. The Conleys are going to be there, a host of other drivers. Tomorrow, I just got a text from Mr. Sipple a few moments ago, and we've made arrangements to get together tomorrow, and he'll be able to tell us more. I mean, this is a historical racetrack for a lot of folks, like I said, my generation, my father's. A lot of us have spent some time there either as a spectator or as a racer, driving anything from your daily driver to whatever you've got prepped for whatever category you so choose to run. We're really excited to hear about the new ownership and the big push they are making in making the Kentucky Dragway a big drag racing venue once again. So look for that again, or more on that tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we'll, of course, see who your new Miss Teen Magoffin County is. Before I leave you for tonight, a real quick look at your Licking Valley RECC forecast. Yeah, it does not get much sweeter than this, and still beautiful timing for a beautiful forecast. We're going to see some increasing clouds this evening and during the overnight, but they're not going to do anything other than just increase. That's all they're going to do. We'll see some more fog tonight as well, but those clouds tomorrow, after we see about 53 tonight, will clear gradually. By mid-morning, we'll see sunny skies, or maybe afternoon or so, and 87 degrees for your Friday. More fog tomorrow night, partly cloudy, and a low of 59. It's going to be a wonderful evening tonight, tomorrow night for the pageants. Saturday for everything going on that's planned here in Magoffin County and Sagersville for Heritage Day is another beautiful day. A bit warmer than today, again at 87 tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. But as for the weekend, bookends, 87 both days, low 60s, fog at the onset of both days, more or less, but sunny skies, mostly clear that night, and definitely some very, very nice and welcomed conditions for the Labor Day weekend and the Heritage Day weekend as well. Now, of course, a lot of folks will have Monday off, and you will have a beautiful Monday to do whatever you so choose. In fact, all the way through next Thursday, which is the end of the forecast period, it's just more of the same. Can you stand it? 86 on Labor Day, sunny, clear. Tuesday, we'll warm up to 88, sunny, clear. Wednesday, back down to 86, mostly sunny, partly cloudy. We'll fall down to in the low 80s on Thursday, but nothing else is happening besides that. Just more sunshine and partly cloudy skies. 82 on your Thursday, 62 that night. Like I said, it's a beautiful and very sweet forecast for the next several days. Hope you enjoy it as much as possible. Well, to be honest, I'm out of here, and I'm going to go take a bit of a nap before the Miss Teen starts, and I'll have that coverage and more news for you on your program tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Thank you for watching. Good night.